Here, the outer layer is the cortex. It's covered by the tunica albuginea. The tunica albuginea is covered by the germinal epithelium. And the central part where I find all of my nerves, my blood vessels, my lymphatics is in the medulla. There is a hilum to the ovaries. So from inner to outer, the medulla, the cortex, the tunica albuginea, the germinal epithelium. The ligaments. Ovarian is medial. Suspensory, also called infundibulopelvic, is lateral. And the meso-ovarian is the broad ligament. Fimbriae, infundibulum, ampulla, isthmus, interstitial, cornua, fundus, body, lower uterine segment or isthmus, internal os, external os, serosa, parametrium, myometrium, endometrium, zona basalis, zona functionalis. Cornices. Are y'all getting it?
Yeah.
Okay. We say it enough, right? But that's what we're here for. Okay. This is a, let's call it a, okay, let's start down here. I have a developing antrum, or an oocyte. It grows, I have FSH, I have FSH, I have FSH. I'm putting out estrogen, I'm putting out estrogen, I'm putting out estrogen. I'm developing, now I'm a mature follicle. I'm called a Graafian follicle. I let go of the egg at ovulation. Now I am a corpus luteum, progesterone, progesterone, progesterone. Okay? If I'm pregnant, it will slowly involute on itself. If I'm pregnant, it will stay there. Every month, I'm here for procreation as far as God's concerned, and I can get pregnant from my very first period at 8 years old until my very last period sometime in my 60s. Okay? So what is this? This is more than likely, it's not measured, it takes up the whole ovary. More than likely, it is a corpus luteum. After it's ruptured, falls. Okay? Yes?
How do you distinguish
A
Graafian follicle from a cyst?
Graafian follicle from a cyst? If it's right before ovulation, you can actually see the egg in there. I can't remember what we call it. A cumulus oophrus. It's a cumulus oophrus. And you'll see this little thing right here, and it will look like a daughter cyst. We have a cyst inside of a cyst, and that's what they aspirate when you go through infertility treatments. Okay? Did that answer your question?
Is it at the cyst still like perfectly round, or is the shape?
Most of the time. Because a cyst is a cyst. It has to meet the 3 criteria: anechoic, smooth borders, posterior enhancement.
Can it look like a bladder?
It looks exactly like the bladder.
Yeah, we saw it,
Anechoic.
remember? Yeah, we saw it and then we thought it was a bladder, but she said it wasn't a bladder, it was cyst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Here I have my uterus, a very full bladder, and look, the ovary is superior to the fundus. They can be anywhere. Okay, it's your job as a sonographer to find it. Bowel. bowel, we can't see anything. Okay, let's do this. So here I have, all of this in here is small bowel, right? Small bowel, duodenum, jejunum. My brain just went blank. The ileum, okay? The ileum connects to the large colon. Here you have your ascending colon, your transverse colon, your descending colon, your sigmoid, and then your rectum. If there's air in there, we can see bowel. If there's poop in there, we can see bowel. If it has air in there, we can't see bowel.
Can't see.
Can't see it. It has to be fecal material or water. Here is echogenic bowel. There's poop in there. That's what we see. Okay? If there was air in there, we would not be able to see it. It would look like this. This is bowel with air. This is bowel with poop. Don't y'all like my medical terms? Okay. Now, this is a retro uterus. Normally the cervix is over here and it goes this way.
Mm-hmm.
This is still inferior and anterior, posterior, superior, inferior. But we have a retro uterus. So this is still anterior uterus. This is still posterior uterus. Because anatomically, we have to keep everything the same, anatomically. Okay? So even though it looks like this is posterior uterus, it's not. It's anterior uterus.
Because it's breech or flex, right?
Because it's retroflexed or retroverted. Okay? Everybody understand? So if I had a fibroid here, I would have to call this anterior uterus and posterior uterus. What phase of the endometrium am I in right here? Late proliferative. This is my 3-line sign. We do not measure the halo around it. We know that ovulation is imminent. Okay. The internal iliac comes off of the common iliac. The internal iliac bifurcates and the common iliac bifurcates and makes external iliac and internal iliac. The internal iliac is where I'm going to find my vessels that feed my pelvic organs. The ovarian comes off of the aorta because I have testicular or gonadal arteries. I just touched. So it goes aorta, common iliac, external iliac, and internal iliac happen at the same time. The internal iliac is called the hypogastric, and it branches off into my uterine artery. Now my uterine artery has penetrated the uterus. I have the arcuates because they arc around the uterus, all the way around the uterus. We can see those sometimes because they look like little black squigglies. The arcuates branch into the radial. okay? So this feeds part of the myometrium. The radial feeds part of the endometrium. When the radials branch off, then that's where the straight arteries is where the endometrium meets the myometrium at the zone of what?
Zona basal.
Zona basalis. Okay? From the zona basalis, then my spiral arteries come off. Remember the okay. The spiral arteries come off. It's the spiral arteries that we slough off when we have our cycles, or they stay if I get pregnant and they help the placenta form. They have two functions. The ovarian arteries come off of the aorta. The ovarian veins, the right one drains into the what?
IVC.
IVC. The left one drains into
Left
the
renal vein.
left renal vein. Here it is here. We've got the serosa. We've got the myometrium. No, this is the serosa. This is the myometrium. This is the endometrium. The uterine artery penetrates into the arcuates. The arcuates branch off into the radial. The radials branch off into the straight. The straight branches off into the spiral.
So the zona functionalis is right after the spiral artery.
They are part of.
Spiral.
They're in the spiral arteries are in the functionalis.
Okay.
The zona functionalis.
It's in.
Okay. Okay, this again is just a little bit more. You have your aorta, the gonadal arteries, the ovarian arteries, anastomose are joined the uterine artery, so the ovary has dual blood supply.
Ovarian artery.
That's just a picture of it. That's another picture of it. Okay. Here is my aorta. Here is my, this is my, which one is this?
SMA.
Oh, what's this one?
Oh,
Celiac.
celiac tract.
SMA. IMA. And then where do, they come off laterally. Maybe that's why I don't see them. Okay. Common iliac. Internal iliac. External iliac. Oh, that's it.
Bingo.
Okay.